Good afternoon. So my name is Ankur Agarwal, and I'll be mentoring the students for last 17 years for different and various entrance examination for India as well as for the abroad. Yes, please.
Yes, I am Vipul Parashar. I'm one of the director at EduShastra and spent 15 years in teaching corporate management and all. Yeah, Mr. Jitendra.
Yeah, hi Shrinidhi. I am Jitender and I am a teacher for last 15 years and associated with EduShastra as a quant faculty for last 10 years.
Okay, hi Shrinidhi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, Shrinidhi, so tell us three things. Tell us three things about yourself which you think that should be important to become a manager.
So I love to think in various perspectives. It's very important, like a manager actually considers different perspectives before coming into conclusion or taking a decision. So I'm out of box thinker and I love to see various dimensions of same problem. I'm creative, so I can think of different ways to solve a problem. And I'm really committed person. So when I take up things, I want to do it in a perfect way.
Okay. So, Shrinidhi, can you just elaborate what is the lathe machine?
So, lathe machine is a huge machinery in workshops. We actually use that to cut machine products. Like there are like two types of cutting machine products. We actually need to cut products to get desired shape to put it into various parts in use. So one is like the tool will move. The other way is like the other type of machine is that the instrument itself will move. So lathe machine is the kind of latter thing. It is used to cut to get the required shape, like metals or something.
Okay. So, Shrinidhi, as you are a civil engineer, right? So you must be like having all this information. You have done some say internship and projects for construction of building, bridge, and all those things, right? So see, if I go for some ancient monument, maybe like a Qutub Minar, maybe any temple in even southern. Take an example, the Rameshwaram temple, right? So, do we have the cement there to patch up the bricks?
No, cement was not actually invented that time. Cement was, and it is also not really suitable material according to my opinion in India. That time during those ancient, especially those ancient buildings, we used lime mortar, which is way more eco-friendly at that time. But now considering like carbon footprint and stuff, it might not be the most efficient choice, but lime was used that time, like for internal construction as well as out external plastering. Cement was actually invented in Portland and it was an efficient material over there at that time, like way later, and it came to India, so we started using it. Due to the cost efficiency, we prefer cement nowadays, so we won't find it over there.
But see, the construction done with the lime mortar and all those things were far stronger than the construction used with the cement, right?
Yeah.
So, if, as you're saying, okay, the cement is a little bit cost effective, but if we're using the lime water to manufacture and to create all these structures, infrastructure, so don't you think that the life of these structures would be a little longer, just like the ancient monuments?
No, those people had proper techniques to do. We unfortunately lost those techniques and we started following like Western procedures. So our procedures, like starting from design and then having like, we don't have really skilled labor also, like the workmen we are using there, they barely know anything, the workforce. So they are all trained to use cement only. So in that place, if we give a new material to them, new idea to them, they might find it difficult. But this is a really good idea. If we start training the workforce and start employing like people with some knowledge about construction and stuff, and
Mhm.
follow actual procedures. Like in India, we cut through many things and we don't actually follow all the rules. If we
Mhm.
take all these factors into account, then Lime will surely be a better option.
Okay. Okay. So, Shrinidhi, have you heard about the Burj Khalifa in Dubai?
Yeah, it is the tallest building in the world currently.
Okay, right. So, see, what is the technique, what is the technology those persons have like put in there to make this such a tallest building and that to the earthquake resistant?
So usually all buildings will be starting from substructure, that is the foundation, and we'll
Mhm.
start building level wise, like level 1, level 2. This
Mhm.
actually had a really lot of levels. So
Mhm.
people actually found the main technique used here is pumping of the cement. These big buildings, we won't actually manually carry cements. We can't do that. That's not efficient. And the labor force, it won't happen in the required amount of time.
Mhm.
So people thought they can actually transport the cement by pumping from lower floor to higher
Mhm.
floor. So
Mhm.
instead of actually manually taking it or putting ropes and then pulling from top floors, they actually pump the concrete. But
Mhm.
in between, like before like 10 floors or something, they found out that the whole process is not actually going well, because the
Mhm.
concrete is actually drying up before they actually reach the required floor.
Reaching
So
the
there were 10
destination point.
more. uh, so
Yeah.
there were like 10 more floors, and then like the concrete mix was actually drying up. So
Mhm.
they thought they need to employ another technique, which is like pumping the concrete in really high pressure. If
Mhm.
you increase the pressure in that,
Mhm.
the liquid remains the liquid as well, because we know the ideal gas law, ideal
Mhm.
fluids law, PV equal to nRT. So
Mhm.
from that, the temperature remains really low, so that the concrete actually doesn't dry up. In addition to that, they also use like admixtures, which are chemical substances. They wanted to increase the structure as well, strength of the structure as well. So they put on admixtures, and at high pressure, they pump the concrete from basement till the last floor. So that was really efficient over there.
Okay. Right. Thank you. Thank you. Vipul sir, please.
Yes, Shrinidhi. Um, See, when I look at the profile of yours, it is very IQ centric profile. It is not a balanced profile, I feel.
Yes,
See, there's a difference between intelligence and smartness. Business is not about intelligence, it's more about smartness. So when you look at the profile of yours, it is more like a very IQ centric. It's more like an intellectual kind of a thing. A person very equipped to handle teaching jobs rather than a business jobs, because it is not balanced profile. In the total profile of yours, which you have shared with us, there is only one line which talks about the EQ factor. One line. And 99.99% of your total, I would say, the resume is only talking about the IQ factor. So how will you defend this point?
so first of all, I think like along with IQ factor, they need EQ factor. They need to be IQ factor. So then only a manager can function well. Howsoever emotionally stable he or she is, they need some amount of knowledge, technical knowledge to work with. So I guess from there I actually qualify. And second thing is like EQ is something that is developed throughout the whole process. It's not like you should have everything initially. So along the process, on the journey, I guess I can learn really well.
No, I meant to say, see, right now when you're being selected, you're being selected on the basis of profile which you're presenting and not as a future prospect. Because you are right now might be 20 to 25 age group. And I think what I feel is you have a very good 20 plus years to create a good profile. What I feel about this whole profile is it's a very, very one-centric thing. See, the idea what I'm trying to put forward is the business school, when they are choosing, the diversity will come as a very big factor. And in diversity, it's not the IQ which makes the people diverse, actually. It is the EQ which makes the people diverse. You can have 98% percentile plus people, there might be around 5,000 people in India right now. But if you're selecting 500 people out of it, what will set you apart is the EQ point. I understand that you will create an EQ. EQ is not about emotions. EQ is a personality factors, a human factor we call it. When you look at your resume, even as a third party, if you see from my eyes or from any other faculty eyes, it's a very IQ centric. Try to have at least 10 to 20% space for the EQ factors. Otherwise, it will create a very, being frank, you don't bring any diversity to the group. Diversity, the peer diversity in business schools is a very, very big factor which would be taken, which would be, I think, into consideration. Achha, now, the second point, what I have is, you are a civil engineer, so this question I think pertains to you. In UAE, Dubai coast, we have that floating islands. And even in spite of in the coast, you have a sand structure. Then how come that foundation work, foundation needs to be very strong for any kind of a construction to take place. So what exactly they have done so that they can have the villas and everything out there?
So all the islands are artificially, mostly artificially created islands. So they have like the environment is really salty. There'll be like sulfate, chlorine attacks and all. And taking Burj Khalifa as the example, the loads are going to be really high. Both dead load pertains to the material load in the structure, as well as the dynamic load, the people moving in and out, and wind load as well, because it's a really high structure. So taking all these into consideration, the bearing capacity of the soil will not be really good because it's obviously artificially created. So what people did was, the engineers did was, they used deeper foundations like pile foundation, and they reinforced with many piles, like pile instead of 1 or 2 pile caps, they used many pile caps, and there were pile foundations which reached till the hard strata underneath. So that actually supported the whole structure.
Okay. So the next question I have is, the MBA fits goals and the short-term goals?
In short term, I want to become a strategic consultant. I have good grip on data analytics and programming, as well as technical knowledge. Knowing a business side of things will help me develop that 3-dimensional perspective required to solve problems. I want to learn from MBA rather than study MBA. Good knowledge on business and industries will help me devise good strategies. And I also want to put my learning to good use and create difference where I work. Long term, like 10 to 15 years down the line, I want to become an inspirational speaker. There are not many people who have life experiences like me, and of them, there are even fewer who are ready to talk and address to people. I want to be the source of change in people's life. I don't want to motivate, but inspire people.
So what is the difference between motivation and inspiration?
So motivation is something external. So when we see someone and when we want to become like, when we are actually put into that social situation where we want to become like someone, so we are doing we are taking the necessary steps to do that. In the social pressure situation, then that is motivation. We want to become like someone because there's a reason behind it. But inspiration is something there's no reason. We want to become like someone because just they are someone really good. So that is internal. Nobody has to force like you want to become like him or her. Like me, I want to do that to younger generation.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Jitendra.
Yeah, Shrinidhi, you are one of the fortunate people who get into IITs. So how has IIT changed your life? And the second question is that you said that you have gone through a lot, like you have life experiences. Can you share any one of the experience?
Sure. So IIT is like, it's by seeing like externally, it seems like getting into IIT is the toughest part, but it is like less than 10% of what people actually experience in IITs. IIT has taught me how to actually accept defeat. And that is really important, because till that point in school, we used to be the topper. I used to be like in the top 5 without even preparation. And if I prepare, sure, I'll be the topper of the class. But then coming here, there are a lot of people who are like not only school toppers, they are like state toppers and stuff. And I had to accept that I was a normal student in the college, and if I want to become someone unique, then I have to do like take necessary step for that. So in turn, I need to work hard and put necessary effort, and then only I can expect results from there. So that is one of important takeaway from IIT. The second one is like patience. Like, you need a lot of patience and perseverance to get through the whole semester thing. It seems like only 3 months or 4 months per semester, but that will be a really hard time. So we need to do like multiple things, catch up, like PORs will be there, club activities will be there, obviously college curriculum will be there, and department professors might ask you to do projects and stuff. So multitasking is really important. And coming to my life experience, when I was 6, I got through electrocution, and my right hand got amputated. So from that time onwards, like I am working only with my left hand, and I got pretty used to it. I don't have any qualms about it, and in fact, I can actually say proudly that wherever people need like 2 hands to do, for example, even workshops like lathe machine, turning machine and stuff, there and all, I actually did workshop in my college. I could have skipped it easily. Like my HOD was ready to give me a certificate for that, and then he was ready to take me up and give me free credits for that. But I didn't want to go the easy way. I wanted to work hard and earn for my place over there. So I worked there, and in that experience was like life changing for me. From carpentry onwards, like carpentry seems like a simple thing. You just need to, the machine will be automatic. You just need to mark in the woods and then cut to things. But then attaching things like making pen stand and putting nail, holding the nail and then hammering it, that and all was a really tough job for me. So I took up like 4 hours or something, and people completed that in 2.5 and 3 hours. But then I learned a lot from that.
Okay, Shrinidhi, that is really inspiring, and I'm really touched with that. And one more thing, who is your role model?
So Karoli Takacs is my role model. He's like a Hungarian shooter. Why is he my role model? Is that many inspirational stories start from person who was in their lowest and came to the highest. But his story is different. He was already an Olympic medalist, gold medalist, but then after that he faced some low parts in his life, and then he reclaimed his place in the top. He was first a right-handed shooter. He won 1936 Olympics, but then during 1938, during his army training, he lost his arm. Like technically he didn't lose his arm, but then he became paralyzed and he couldn't use his arm after that due to faulty grenade explosion. So but then he didn't give up. He continued his shooting with his left hand. He trained from scratch and then started his shooting. And he wanted to go for 1940 Olympics, but both for 1940 and 1944 Olympics actually got cancelled due to that World War going on. So he didn't give up for 8 years, and during 10 years, and during 1944 Olympics also, if he was like really prepared, and then that also got a cancel. So back to back cancellations didn't deter him. He participated in 1948 Olympics, and he was more than 35 age till then, and that is like common nowadays. But during that time, like 20 to 30 is the correct age. Like people usually enter, sportsmen usually enter and win the games. So he was not fan favorite that time, but then he won with his left hand shooting. And not only that, he created the record like for getting Olympic medals by shooting in both right hand and left hand. And not he didn't stop there. He continued, and then he went on to 1952 Olympics as well, and then he won there. And one thing we all need to learn from him is that he never blames circumstances. Like whatever happens to him, he thinks that it's either winning or learning. So he proved to be like a really good exemplar of creative stress, like facing sharp tests and troughs in life. But then he handled everything with poise. He dreamed big, and even though people around him was seeing him with sympathy. He didn't give up. He worked hard and achieved great things. And he became better every day. Like even when people asked him, why did you even return for Olympics? Like continuously 2 Olympics were cancelled and returned. He told like he didn't come there to win. He came there to learn. So that is a big thing according to me.
Yeah, Shrinidhi, that was it from my side. Ankur, over to Ankur, sir.
Okay, hi Shrinidhi, welcome back.
Hello,
Hi.
sir.
So Shrinidhi, now just relax and the process is over, right? So how do you rate, how do you find this, the whole interview process?
It was good. It was not exactly how I expected, but then I didn't expect like 3 panelists and stuff, but I know that's gonna happen. This was the first time for me and it went okay to me. Like I don't know how I actually answered questions, but it was a good experience for me.
Okay, okay. So basically, so as Vipul was talking about that on the IT front, you are very sound and very strong, right? The knowledge wise, the content, the understanding of the concepts. So that was all good, right? But yes, as you were talking about, a left machine is a very big machine, right? So rather than using a such a statement, you can give us some dimension,
Okay,
right?
quantitative
Yeah,
analysis.
quantitative, right? Rather than say simply saying, see, if you are, as you are a say IIT graduate engineer, right, and having access so much of all these teams, projects, and all these things. So if I say, okay, say this is a left machine is big, train is going very fast, right? Vande Mataram is having a highest speed, right? So this means what? I'm just making some general statement, right? So being a technical graduate, you should give us some technical information. That is what can be the length, breadth, and height of the machine, right? Okay. Now, when we are talking about say all these things, like say I asked the Coach Khalifa, which is asked for the say artificial islands and all these things. So again, in this, as you were saying that okay, there are multiple layers, multiple plates are there for them. So I suppose that you must be having this information. Okay, all these multiple plates are having a different ingredients, right? Depth wise, right? Depth wise, because of say very high tension, very high load will be going to put over those plates. So these plates are having a different ingredient and different material to create. Yes or no? Right. So batter is like you are saying that there are different plates are there. So you can tell them, you can quote also that okay, the bottom 2 plates or bottom say 3 plates are having a this material. Then the upper 2 plates are having a this material. Then the topmost plate are having this material. So that the strongest possible structure can be put over the plates. The quantitative part, right? Quantitative. Now, so this is all about for the say knowledge and subject. Now, second thing about the body language, right? So we are expecting that this year also the interview will be online, right? Rather than going face to face because of all these pandemic and everything, interview will be online, right? So when you're giving an interview, just focus your eyes towards the camera, right? So you were answering correctly. You were very spontaneous in the answer. You were having a good content in the answer, your statements, but you were watching something like this, right?
Yes, sir.
So just focus, right? Just focus with the camera and do not do this, right? In a say flow of talking, flow of statements, right? You just lost the control over your body. Right.
Yes.
So your answers were something like this. Watching this direction, movement is front and back. Right. So if I am an interview panel or maybe the Vipul sir is an interview panel, right? So we will get distracted because of all these movement and we lost the content which you are talking about.
Sure, sir.
Right. So if you are say pinned at a one point, right? If you are, say, straight, sitting normal, like this, as you're sitting right now, right? And if you're talking something in this manner, right? So we will have a say focus over the voice, the content which is coming from your side, right? So rest everything is okay, and yes, very good content and everything okay, right? And you will be having a say multiple rounds of such mock interviews. So refinement will be in the process, and keep attending the classes for the PDP program which you are getting. I suppose you have the schedule,
Hmm.
right? So yes, keep attending, and whatever the queries, so you can discuss all over the class also. I suppose you must have done yesterday's concept session,
I attended.
right? Yes.
Yeah.
So with this, so we are just signing off for today, right? And
Just I want to add something.
yes,
Yes, it's just small points. Shrinidhi, see, I can understand a person working hard to achieve. I can understand that whole concept. But try to understand it's a smart work which works actually. Okay. It looks like a very a kind of a very centric kind of a profile, and even the personality. Okay. There's a difference between a donkey work and a smart work. Okay. So just try to see, I can understand you achieving, you trying to achieve in your life and you're working hard to it. I can understand the whole point, but try to see, is the direction correct? Just like in the vector, we have a magnitude as well as a direction. What I feel is there is a very, try to introspect the whole thing. Why a hardworking person shouldn't have a very good IQ? Why that person shouldn't be balanced? Why? My understanding is try to have multifaceted personality rather than a very one-centric personality. One only show. What I feel is, Shrimati, after talking to you, that is the one facet I'm able to see it. It's not a person who is equipped to handle many of the situations. I feel as a manager, I feel ill-equipped actually. So try to see, can we have a personality which is having a multifaceted? If I have a good brain and a good, I would say, an attitude to work hard. So why will I only be the best in one thing? Why will I not try to be best in all the things? Why I'll not be the smartest guy in the town? Why I shouldn't be the most beautiful girl in the whole college? Why I shouldn't be dancing? Why I shouldn't be taking part in the debate? Why I shouldn't be running in the athletics meet? Why I shouldn't be taking, I meant to say a person, if you are working hard, and I can understand it, the way you put it, that with the left hand only you started doing it. And with that points, I was very impressed. But when I look at, I'm just looking at a, try to see why you cannot be the best in everything. Why I cannot see Shrinidhi as Miss India next year. Why not? Yes. The point I'm just trying to make is try to see and explore your potential in all the areas around you rather than just in one area. Reason being, a manager needs to have a multifaceted personality. That will help you in many situations. If you are in a strike and if you have a very difficult situation in the factory, no equations and no knowledge will work there. Okay. So the whole point I'm just trying to say is try to see how you can have a 360-degree personality rather than a one facet personality only. Chalo, take, okay, bye.